Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Josie's Point of View, where we focus on human interest stories from the Carolinas and beyond. Today it's Tuesday and it's February the 24th, 2026. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you find the information here to be informative. And if you're a returning viewer, by all means, thank you for coming back. You know, I always say the tide changes so frequently here on these YouTube streets. So you always have to acknowledge where your support comes from. And I want you to know I sincerely thank you for your support. So feel free to like and to share this video. And don't forget to subscribe. Welcome back, everyone. This is the second of three videos reporting on the Valentine week tragedy involving service members in our area. As I mentioned in my previous video, 4 service members lost their lives, and 3 of them died on the exact date, February the 14th. I did not want to lump all of the incidents together. I wanted to create separate videos, one for each incident. So let's go ahead and let's get started. And as a brief reminder, here is the first video's headline: Fort Bragg soldier and girlfriend killed in an off-post shooting. So if you have the time and you're interested, please take a few minutes to review this video and like it and share it. Thank you. And for this video, we return to Fort Bragg, where the news headline read, 2 Fort Bragg soldiers and a Sanford man killed in North Carolina 87 head-on crash. I'll provide you with a summary here, and I'll identify some of my sources for you in the description box. This incident took place around 3:30 a.m. on Valentine's Day, February 14, 2026, on Highway 87 around the 4600 block near Sanford, North Carolina. Investigators say first responders found a head-on collision blocking all lanes of the highway. 3 people were trapped and needed to be extricated. The North Carolina Highway Patrol say that a southbound Toyota passenger car crossed the center lane and collided with a Chevy Silverado pickup traveling northbound. There were 3 people inside the Toyota. It was reported that the driver and 1 passenger who was in the back seat were killed, and the remaining passengers suffered life-threatening injuries. The driver and sole occupant of the pickup was also pronounced deceased at the scene and had to be extricated as well from that vehicle. We soon learned that the 3 individuals in that Toyota were paratroopers from Fort Bragg. As already mentioned, 2 of them were killed. The other individual from the Chevy was a civilian from Sanford, North Carolina. And that civilian gentleman was identified as 28-year-old William Tyler Underwood of Sanford, North Carolina. The deceased paratroopers were identified as Specialist Romeo Mason Fleck, age 22. He was the driver of that Toyota, and Specialist Charles Jackson, age 21, who was the backseat passenger. Both men were assigned to the 1st Brigade Combat Team of the 82nd Airborne Division here at Fort Bragg. Specialist Fleck was a native of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and this news headline was from one of his hometown newspapers. I always take the time to look and see what the hometown folks are saying, and several newspapers had picked up this incident from North Carolina. Now, Specialist Fleck was a member of his high school graduating class of 2021, and he was active on the Central Dauphin East High School boys freshman football team and the boys varsity team. He had been at Fort Bragg since 2024 and was assigned as an infantryman for the 82nd Airborne Division. The second deceased paratrooper was identified as Specialist Charles Arthur Jackson IV, a North Carolina native assigned to the 82nd Airborne Division as a combat medic. I learned from his obituary that Specialist Jackson attended Cedar Ridge High School and was a member of the school choir as well as the wrestling team. He was described as a funny person, someone who had a gift of lifting spirit, whether it was in formation or on a difficult road march. They say he just knew how to use his wit to bring people together. Family described him as someone who was kind. They said he displayed his kindness in the way he cared for his patients as well as his fellow paratroopers, always displaying Army values. They say he was not just an outstanding paratrooper, but a loyal friend, and most of all, that he provided selfless service that earned him the respect of others. And as you recall, there was a third paratrooper who was injured. We want you to know we did not forget about you. We're just not going to mention you by name, but we want to wish you continued healing, continued blessing, and we send our prayers to you for a speedy recovery. Now, investigators with the North Carolina Highway Patrol had made it clear that this matter, this deadly crash, was still being investigated. So we did expect there would be updates. And on yesterday, February the 25th, we did receive an update stating that a Chapel Hill Bar employees, several employees, were being charged in relation to this deadly crash. Now it appears the paratroopers had spent that evening at this Chapel Hill establishment called the Still Life. It's the Still Life Bar and Lounge. It was reported that alcohol was served, and it was also served to one passenger who was younger than age 21. We know that person was not the driver, and at no time was it stated that alcohol caused the crash. We don't want to start that narrative, but what we can report is we've seen in the various news sources that employees of the Still Life Bar were charged in relation to this tragic accident. And here are the four people who've been charged. It looked like the first one is probably the owner of the establishment. It looked like the second one, he's charged with 2 counts of selling a mixed beverage. He might have been the bartender. There was an individual from Fort Bragg, a 24-year-old, who's charged with 2 counts of aiding and abetting. He probably made it possible or facilitated it. And Bonnie, 21-year-old of Asheville, is charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor selling a mixed beverage to a person younger than 21. She must have been the waitress. And beside the fact that individuals were charged, we don't know whether or not they've already had a court appearance, but we will allow this situation to play itself out in the courtroom. And if there's anything that impacts on this story in the future, we'll sure to add it within the comment section. And as the funeral plans, I learned that Mr. William Tyler Underwood, he was buried this past weekend. I believe it was February the 21st in his hometown, Sanford, North Carolina. And through his obituary, we also learned that Specialist Jackson was buried this past weekend, Sunday, February the 22nd, in Wilmington, North Carolina. And I did numerous online searches to include searching the directories of several funeral homes in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I did not encounter any information regarding Specialist Fleck's obituary or his funeral plans. Maybe it's still pending, I'm not sure, but we should also keep in mind that sometimes this is a matter that families may choose to keep as a private matter, and that we must respect. So it's very possible that he may already have been buried. I just wanted to be known that I did look and that we did not forget about him. And so, with heavy hearts, we once again bid farewell to fellow comrades whose departures left us shocked, still shocked, and with so many unanswered questions. But regardless of the emotions we share at this moment, one thing is certain: some answers may never bring the clarity we seek. We have come to the end of the road, and that's a decision we must accept as final. So, Specialist Romeo Mason Fleck and Specialist Charles Arthur Jackson IV, your mission is finally completed. So rest well, my friends, and thank you for your service. And that's all I have for you right now, but feel free to leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about this video, and by all means, feel free to like it and to share it. And if you haven't done so already, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel by clicking on that red subscribe button. It's on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And if you click on the bell that looks like just like this one, that's the notification bell. If you click on that notification bell, you'll be the first to know whenever a new video is uploaded. I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.